Hello, everybody. It is Eric
Dave.
and we are here with Russ, who you might know better, of course, as Shartimus Prime.
Shartimus Prime. Hey, how's it going? How are you guys?
So we're here at New York Comic Con, live in person, to talk about Street Humans, man. So tell us a little bit about this line.
I wanted to make a toy line that I've always wanted to see, which is civilians. Like I've always felt that there's been a hole in the collection, so I conceived the idea based off of kind of fulfilling this need to have more civilians in my displays. So these are 1/12 scale figures that are meant for collectors that are really into photography and posability, and there's a lot of interchangeability to go along with the figures. So there's that aspect of it, and then on top of that, there's a whole storyline of the street humans actually being shape-shifting aliens from another planet, and there's a whole story of their conflict that's kind of moved over to Earth, and that's been a lot of fun too. And interest has been shown in that as well as the figures, which makes me really happy to see.
So it's kind of a twofold thing, right? Like you said, you have these gaps that you're addressing, but also you're getting to tell a new story, a new IP out of this.
Yeah.
What were some of the considerations that you made when you were designing the kind of street human element of it before we get into the kind of the monster alien design?
Right. Well, right from the beginning, I wanted it to have. I wanted this to have different ethnicities being expressed in the line right away. So we have an African American figure, we have a Latino figure, we have a Asian figure, and we have a Caucasian figure. Two of those are behind stretch goals. We have to kind of pace ourselves on how we have these figures roll out. Everything costs money, so we have to have everything. So we started with the African American and the Latino figure first. So that's where and then our designer Vinny from Brazil with Love, he flushed out the pant designs and the hairstyles and that stuff with all the figures. I wanted to have alternate heads for displaying options, and it's very much a troop building centered line where you can really fill things out and have different aesthetics for these civilians.
Now, you mentioned the stretch goals, so tell us about the Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah, the campaign is our funding goal is $120,000. We're about 25% of the way there. We have quite a few days left. We have more than 2 weeks left. So if you haven't back it now. And the stretch goals, our first stretch goal is at 126,500, which is really close to the 120 initial funding goal. And with that first stretch goal, the main character of the series, his name is Alago, and he is going to. Now, the figure itself initially comes with 3 heads. So you have like a regular neutral human head, an angry human head, and then we've now included the alien head to come along with it, with the basic figure offering at no extra cost. So that's going to be part of that basic figure, which, by the way, was by popular demand. A lot of people asked for that, and that makes me so freaking happy, because that was one of my favorite parts of working on this thing, because these alien heads are designed in a way where it's supposed to have like the silhouette of an animal that you're familiar with, but when you actually look at it, it's very different. So while having a creative blast, putting them together, like, I feel like we could pass on that creative fun to the consumer. Just for fun, I put the Bat alien head, Lago alien head on a Han Solo figure just to see how it would look, and it looks awesome. It could fit into Star Wars if you want to do that with those. But within the lore itself, it's very cool to have, and people. So anyway, yeah, we have that stretch goal, and then the stretch goal for Alago means that he's going to come with a hoodie accessory, and then interchangeable arms. So I have a grayscale prototype with me right over here, and a feature that I really wanted to incorporate. Well, there's 4 different removable part features. So you have the removable hands, and then you have the removable head, right? That's kind of industry standard now. But what I wanted to bring to the table was something different over here, and the basic figures can pop off right at the waist. So you can pop them off at the waist. If you want the African American figure in your display to have the beige pants instead of the camel pants, you can make that happen if you want. If we get everything unlocked, you could switch to your desire. So I really like that. This also allows for a little bit more articulation on the figure, so it adds another joint down there at the waist. So we have 3 joints right there. But the other feature with the stretch goals that's really awesome is if you take the head off, I don't have them with me right now, but if you take the head off and then you can pop the arms off, and then essentially what you'll do is you take the sleeve piece for the hoodie, and then we have different sleeved sweater arms for the stretch goal for Ilago, and then you could port in those sleeves, to match the hoodie. If you want to use the flesh arms, you can get that aesthetic as well. So you can have cut off. I mostly do the cut off shirt thing, not today, but it's
A little chilly here in New York.
Yeah.
it's a little bit colder in California. Not too bad though. Yeah, but no, but I love New York, by the way. That's not a jab. That's not a jab. But it's actually a really nice day out here. But you can have that look if you want cut off sleeves. So if you have 3 figures and you have those deluxe accessory packs, you can set that up now. And then from then on, each of the stretch goals are basically kind of following the same pattern of having a basic figure. So the next stretch goal after that is at, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's my own Kickstarter, but 130K. You get the deluxe pack for Eon. So that will come with, and on top of the hoodie, you have the hoodie down, hoodie up feature, and then you have 2 more human heads. A mohawk head and then a different hairstyle head. And that's the theme for each of the deluxe accessory packs for these figures. So basically the initial offering, 2 starter pack figures, and then you have the Ilago accessory pack, and then we have the Eon accessory pack, which comes with 2 more heads, the mohawk, and then a different hairstyle, and then he'll come with a jersey instead, and then different arms for that jersey. Then the next stretch goal would be for Edel. He's the Asian character, and he'll have the same accessories. He'll come with an alien head. He'll come with the 2 human heads, the angry and neutral bald head. And then the deluxe pack for him is, and then actually, I'm sorry, after him is the Erus character, and that's the Caucasian one with the 2 heads, 2 sets of hands. I'm sorry, 3 heads, 2 sets of hands, because we've added that alien head in there now. And then after that, we have the deluxe pack for Edel, and then the deluxe pack for Erus.
So with these figures, kind of going back to the purpose, right, and the usefulness of them, what's like the one selling point about these that you want to get out there? Like what's the thing that to you that is most important that you think resonates most with collectors, toy photographers?
To be honest with you, if you haven't held it in hand, it's hard to say how fun this figure is. It's if you're an action figure collector that loves posability and that loves displaying, that fun factor is just through the roof with this figure. It's just so fun to pose around. I've been having a great time with it, and I think really the fun factor of this thing is through the roof. And that's like one thing that I feel like, while I'm pretty new to making toys, I've been talking about fun figures for 15 years on YouTube. I'm not going to you know what I mean? I have an idea of what's a fun figure and what's not a fun figure. So I feel confident that, once this gets into people's hands, and so far everybody that's held onto this figure has had a great time with it. So it's an incredibly fun figure to have, and I think there's just endless possibilities with that fun factor if we hit these goals. And we also have other stretch goal ideas for like motorcycle helmet heads or bandanas, beanies, all kinds of different accessories that we can incorporate with this. So the fun factor is very strong with these.
Now, you've been working with renowned designer David Vonner for this project. What's it been like working with him?
punk rock to jazz is kind of like he is the maestro, and he's been very helpful with this, and there's a lot of insight in the industry that I wouldn't have been able to just obtain from my personal experiences. A lot of design pointers. He's really helped a lot in countless ways. So I'm not giving away all his secrets or anything, but like he really has a great knack for knowing how to make the figure fun, and he's helped us a lot with the designs also for some of these alien heads, especially the Eon and the Edel heads. So getting his creative juices in the mix is kind of hard to like hold back from geeking out a little bit, because it's like, oh yeah, oh that's it, that is a cool idea. Oh yeah, we should do that. It's like, that's why you're Dave Honor and I'm not, like. So he's really helped us, a whole bunch, and it's really helped with the development through and through.
Now, you said each figure comes with two human heads, and you went with a neutral and an angry expression. Mm-hmm. Were there any kind of other expressions, like maybe a scared expression or something else that maybe you guys were considering?
I've had several ideas for me. I would like to like a really pained expression, like an open mouth, like getting walloped in the face really hard would be really cool. But I also wanted to have a different silhouette. So especially if people end up deciding to use them as background characters, I think it would be more beneficial for the collector to have maybe a different hairstyle head than one that has the same bald head but a different face. Maybe it may not come through so much in the background. So I really want a lot of variety in the collection. I want to add some more stuff that could make things look more unique.
Now, if successful, and we hope it is, so we'll say when it's successful.
Yeah.
Do you see kind of more accessory packs being the future, as opposed to, or kind of in conjunction with adding more characters?
Yeah, we already have plans for accessory packs for additional stretch goals beyond the deluxe packs. So being able to have that available and seeing where things go as far as popularity-wise, I'm definitely keeping my ear out there as far as what people want to see. Like thus adding the alien heads in there, it's like I really want to keep a close eye on it. So it's going to also depend on see where, people, what people like more so, and where we can go with it. But definitely deluxe, definitely more accessory packs is on the horizon for this, for sure.
So you mentioned it. I mean, you've been reviewing toys. We've been watching your videos since
Thank
long
you.
before we've been doing this.
Thank you.
Now you're kind of stepping on the other side of it for the first time.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you've learned about just kind of like the design and production and that whole kind of process?
Oh God, it takes so long. You have to be so patient. This is not a one-man show. I don't know what it's like for other people that design these, but like for me, it's very much been like playing in a band. Like it's like there's a lot of, and you have to be receptive towards other people's ideas. So having that mindset, being open-minded, putting your ego aside, having to do what's best. It's kind of, I'm a musician, part-time musician. As a drummer, I could always do the cool new fill I've been practicing that week, or I could do what's best for the song, right? The guy gets hired again when he plays what's best for the song. I'm trying to do what's best for the song with this, and that's what it is listening to other people's ideas and working around what other people will think will be best. So there's that part of it, and then the other side of it is that there's like this whole other manufacturer community that I've kind of just been discovering recently, and everybody's been very, very kind and very nice and welcoming to me, and very honest about everything. So it's kind of like jumping into this other artist community, and like we're like, oh wow, this is very different, and this is really interesting. So and very cool. Like everyone's been very kind to me and helpful. So I really appreciate it a lot. Been learning a lot. Yeah.
So has the process made you go back, like the countless toys you've reviewed over the years? Mm-hmm. Like, do you think about them a little bit differently now? Like, do you go back and think like, oh, wow, this kind of is like this? Because now I know, making it, this kind of goes into the decision. Like, has it made you kind of reshape how you think about that?
Yes, but more with new stuff. Like hearing Dwight talk about the HasLab Giant Man, and then him talking about having all these different samples to look at and picking and choosing, and I'm like, I'm familiar with this. Okay. Like I'm kind of seeing parallels in what they're doing in some of the stuff I did. Now it's not the same, of course, right? Much smaller situation compared to Hasbro. I'm not saying I'm the same as them, but there are similarities in development, and it's kind of interesting seeing that happen, and it's kind of changing my perspective a little bit, but I still need to be very critical when I do my toy reviews, right? Like, so just because I do feel more sympathy for all toy makers, not just Marvel, not just Dwight and the Marvel team, but like all action figure manufacturers. I have a much grander respect for all of them now. So, but I still, then there's the toy review side. I have to put that away. And I did a review on this. I was critical of my own thing. So I'm trying to be critical all the way through and maintain all of that while still holding on to this new knowledge.
So, typically when we have somebody on the podcast, one of the last things that we do is we have a special question that we reserve for our guests. So, in this kind of short interview here, we're gonna spring our typical final question on you. So, Dave, would you like to fulfill your role as this podcast's James Lipton and ask our final question?
Oh, nobody's seen this live ever. Why, yes, I would. So, Russ, what is your favorite or strangest piece in your collection? It can be one of each, or it can be both.
Favorite or strangest piece? Oh God, I will say, like right now, like my two favorite figures in my collection. I know you said one, but
Could be two.
the HasLab Galactus and the HasLab Unicron. Like those two. Like whenever I go into my garage, I stare at the Unicron. Whenever I go into my dork room, I stare at the Galactus. So because I have two collection sections, it's each of those two are my favorite right now. I have a whole bunch of other favorite figures though, but the real answer is the prototype. The Street Humans prototype is the favorite, right? That's the number one favorite one. It's actually the figure I've been playing around with the most, like recently. And then the strangest figure in my collection. Shoot, I kind of have to think about that. The strangest figure that I have in my collection? I don't have a lot of weird, strange stuff, man. God, yeah, I don't have a lot of... I guess it's... No. I was going to say, like, my Universal Monsters, but that's not even really that weird, right? There may have been something else I can't think of, but, I think... what's kind of strange and weird is my Mezco Nosferatu. Okay, I'm going to say that. I love my Mezco Nosferatu figure, and I find it really weird because it's creepy and it has like the effect that Nosferatu has, but it doesn't look like him. Like it does look like him, but it doesn't. Like they took liberties with the design, and that one weirds me out because I love that figure so much, but it's still very different from the source material. But it also delivers the way it should. So it's kind of a trippy figure. It's like you don't look right, but you're doing all the right things. So yeah, I'll say my Mezco Nosferatu is kind of my strangest figure.
So that's the one out of all of them. You don't want that one to wake up in the middle of the night and come to life.
It's not my creepiest one. No, my creepiest one is another Mezco one is that the Nun Living Dead doll.
God. Yeah.
I love that thing. And then I had to churn her around in my office because my daughters freak out whenever they see her. But I love that thing because it's like the face, just those eyes and the muck around the eyes and everything. It's awesome.
Well, remind our listeners and followers one last time, where can they find the Kickstarter for Street Humans?
Yeah, so check out hold that up. We got a QR code right over here for Street Humans. You can see Alago and Eon right there. And the campaign ends on September 29th. So check it out now, back it now if you're interested. If you're a 1/12 scale collector, you're really going to have a lot of fun with these figures.
Awesome. Thank you, Russ, so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, Eric, David, thank you.